In this session, I'm going to discuss working with static files in Django. So how we can work with static files in Django? Let's understand. Static files means, suppose you have last time you have created this project. In this project, we have created one folder templates. Template folder basically what content template folder contains all the, we can say here, design, you can check template folder contains all the template files. So we have created this project, first project. And now suppose if you require any CSS file, any images, a JavaScript file, any yes file in your project. So where we have need to place. So those files we can call as a static files. Suppose you require to use the images in your project. You require CSS in your project. So those file we can call as a static file. So up to this, just we have injected normal text data into the template using template tags we have seen, but sometimes our requirement to insert static files like images, CSS file, etc. inside the template file. We have seen up to, yes, no, we have injected normal text data into template using template tag. Yes, no, you have seen on the template, you can check here, we have injected normal text. We have seen, but sometimes based on our requirement, we need to insert static file like images, CSS files inside the template file. So how we can inject? So for that, last time, just like we have created template folder, if you want to place any static file in your project, so you can create one new folder, our project, inside our project with name static. So here we have created one folder with name static. So here we create a folder named with static inside the main project folder. So inside the main project folder, main project is the first project. Inside main project folder, we have created one folder with name static. So it is exactly same as created template folder. So in that static folder, we can, under static folder, we can create images folder if you want to place, suppose, if you want to place images in your project, so you can create folder like images. Yes, no? Images folder. If you want to place CSS, you can create inside static folder one more folder CSS. Inside that folder, you can place all the required CSS file. So just like inside a static folder, we have created one folder with name images. So under images folder, we can place our images file. So let's here we place one image file. We have one image file with name flag.jpg. So we have one file with name flag.jpg. So open the images folder. Let's paste this file. So you can check here. Here we have paste one file with name flag. Okay, so this is our static directory. So what is the location for our static directory? Under main project. So go to the your VS Code, and in VS Code you can check here we have one file setting.py. Now in setting.py we need to add static directory path to setting.py file. So Django can aware our static files. So how we can add and where we need to add, you can check here. How Django can aware with our static file. So for that, we need to add static directory path to setting.py file. Open the setting.py file, and here you can check it. This is the URL for static. This is the URL for static. So let's here we create one variable. Here we create one variable. I create one variable with name static underscore directory. Static underscore directory. And now we place the path. So os dot we have one object path module. We can join, we can call the join method. So we need to join based in base directory. So we can pass base directory location. In base directory, we need to join which directory location? static directory location. So we can pass that name of our static directory. After creating a static directory, so here we create one list. So just like with name static files underscore directories underscore directory. Now in this directory, in this list, we can place our static directory location. So let's replace our static directory location. So this is the static URL. We can say / static. If you want to access static directory from the browser, you can type the URL / static. And now here we have added, you can check our static directory location. So let's now save this. Let me run this project once again. So py manage.run server. Now our server is started. Just copy this URL and let's now we open this URL. So let's open this URL. Now you can check here. If you want to access your static directory, so how you can access? What is the URL / static? You can check here. Your static directory location / static. Okay. So / static, you can check here. Under static directory, you have which resources? Images resources. So / images, you can check it, images. And then / images, we have one image flag.png. Now you can check here. Now you are able to access that resources that are available under your static directory. So here we have given the complete path. Now you are able to access your static resources. Now what we need to do, actually this static resources we need to use in our template file. So how, suppose if you want to insert image in your template file, let's now understand how we can use it. So if you want to insert images in your template file, where your images is available, images available under static directory, we have one folder with name images, and images folder contain all required images. This image file I want to use in our template file. So let's here we create one template file. So let's we create one template file. I will create one template file new. I just create new. I give the file name just like welcome.html. Welcome.html. I have created welcome.html file. Let's copy the code of HTML and paste here. So what my requirement? My requirement in this template file, I want to insert images. So how we can insert images? So we can use template tag to insert image. If you want to use static resources, if you want to insert static resources in your template file, so at the beginning of HTML, we need to place one line. So if you want to insert static resources in your template file, then we have need to include following template tag in your HTML file. At the beginning of your HTML file, you need to add following template tag. What is the template tag? Curly braces, percentage, and here we need to write load static. Here we want to load what? Static files. If you want to load static files in your template, if you want to insert static resources in your template, so at the beginning of HTML, we have to include following template tag. So once you have include the following template tag, then we are conveying to the Django to load all the static file. So by adding this following template tag, we are conveyed to Django load all the static file. So now here we need to add, suppose image. I need to add what we need to add image. So let's under body section, we need to write one image tag. Image tag contain one attribute SRC attribute. Image SRC. SRC is the required attribute. So which image you want to load? So image is a static file. The static file we want to insert in our template. So you can use template tag. Which tag? Template tag. How we can use template tag? Curly braces, percentage. Now you need to write curly braces, percentage. So okay, you need to load static file. Yes, no? So here you can write static, and then what the URL for that static file. Actually, file is available is where, guys? Files available under images folder. Yes, no? Under images, we have flag.png file. This file, PNG file. So we can write a single quote. So you can check here. So here we're going to insert template tag. We are using that template tag to insert the images in our template. To insert an image, which tag we need to use? IMG tag. IMG tag contains SRC attribute. In this SRC attribute, we need to give the file location, image location, which image you want to display. So here you can check here. Here we need to write template tag. We can use template tag to insert images into your template. So curly braces, percentage, then you can write static. I want to insert a static file. Which static file we want to insert? I want to insert here the static file which are available under images. Under static directory, we have one images folder. Under images folder, we have one file flag.png. Flag.png we want to insert here. Let's now we create one view. I'm going to create here one view. Def, I give the view name like show image. Show image. Now we need to return what we need to return render. In the render method, first parameter we need to pass request object. Second parameter we need to pass template name. Which template you want to render? Welcome.html. So let's save it. Okay, now what we need to do next? Okay, here we need to pass request object. Request. Now next, what we need to do? We need to define the URL pattern for which view show image. So go to the url.py file. Let's add one more URL pattern for accessing our view. I want to access which view? Show image. So let's here give the show hyphen image. This is the URL pattern, comma, for which view? Okay, just we have copy. One minute, just I remove this one. Copy this one. Paste here. Now I give the name like so. For which view? This URL pattern? Views dot show image. Let's save it. Now go to the browser and check once again. Refresh your page. Now you can check it. What the URL pattern show. So now we type the URL pattern /show. Now you can check here. Here image is not visible. So let's check what the reason image is not visible. Okay, just we have saved all the files once again. Let's save the file and go to the browser, check once again. Okay, now image is visible. You can check here. So now in this way, you have seen here how we can work with static file and how we can insert static file like images in your template. So here we have created one welcome.html file. Suppose in welcome.html file, I need to insert an image. So how we can insert image? So here we can insert image. Image is a static file. If you want to load a static file in your template, so first of all in your template at the beginning, you need to write the following template tag. Curly braces open, percentage load static. Actually, this line is conveyed to Django load all the static file in the template. Once static file is loaded, now which static file you want to insert here? I want to insert image. So in the image, we can use image tag. Image tag has content src attribute. In this src attribute, you can check here. Here you can give the template tag. In the template tag, curly braces open, percentage, you can write it direct static. I want to load static, yes, no. File, which static file? That file which are available under images folder with name flag.png. So in this way, we can insert static file. Suppose if you want to include CSS file, how you can create CSS file also. In a template, suppose if you want to insert CSS file also. So check here, guys. Just like under static folder, we have created one folder with name images. Under images folder, we can place all the required images. Similar, if you want to include CSS file in your template, so you can create one folder with name CSS under static folder. So under static folder, create one folder with name CSS. I give the folder name. Let's rename this folder. Select this folder, right click, rename. I give the folder name like CSS. So here we create one folder CSS inside static and place all our required CSS under CSS folder. So here we create one file. Yes, no. Let's we create one file. And now this file I'm going to save under this location. Okay, you can check here if you not want to save here. So go to the VS Code. Now you can check it under static. You can check it. One folder is created. Which folder? CSS. And now here we want to create one CSS file. Let's give the CSS file name demo.css. I am going to create one CSS file with name demo.css. So I give the CSS. Here I have give some CSS for image tag, img tag. Let's we set the height. We are setting the height 500 pixel and we are setting the width 500 pixel. And now we want to use border. So border, suppose I want to use 10 pixel, solid, and now black. Now I want to use the margin. Margin I required 0% and space 20%. This means from, okay, margin we have set. Now we take one heading tag, h1 tag. I want to apply the style for h1 tag. What style? I want to set color. We set the color blue color. And now I want to change the text align. Text align I want to make as a center. Let's now save this. We have created this demo.cs file. And now this demo.css file I want to insert in welcome.html file. So go to the welcome.html file. In this welcome.html file, we create one h1 tag also. In this h1 tag, be writing welcome to Django framework. Welcome to Django framework. Welcome to Django framework. Okay, whatever CSS we have defined under CSS folder in demo.css file, that demo.css file we want to insert in our template. So in the template HTML file, we have to include this CSS file. So how we can include? So we have to do this by using link tag. Yes or no? So using link tag, add we can add CSS file in our HTML file. So which tag we need to use? Link tag. Let's we use the link tag. Link tag we are using. Now in the link tag, we are using one attribute rel equal to style. I'm writing style sheet. I'm writing style sheet. Now in this link tag, we have one main attribute, href attribute. Which attribute? href. In href attribute, you need to give the CSS file location, that CSS file you want to add. So where our CSS file is available? Our CSS file is available under static directory. Under static directory, we have one folder with name CSS. Under CSS, we have demo.css file. So how we can include static file here? We can insert static file using template tag. Which tag? Template tag. How you can use template tag? Curly braces, percentage, and now I need to insert static resources. So you can write static. Which static resources? Now static resources that are available under CSS folder. So under static directory, we have one folder CSS. Under CSS, we have one demo.css. So in this way, we can insert static files. So here, which static file we have inserted in our template file? CSS file. So here we have seen how we can insert static files in our template like images. You have seen here how we can insert images in your template and how you can insert CSS file in your template. So first of all, whenever you want to insert static files, the static resources in your template, at the beginning of the template, first of all, we need to write following tag, which convey to the Django to load all the static resources. And after that, which static resource? Suppose if you want to include CSS file, if you want to insert CSS file in your template, so in the CSS, so you can use link tag. In the link tag, we have one main attribute href. In the href, you can give your CSS file location. How we can insert CSS file? Using template tag. How we can use curly braces, open, close, percentage, then you can write specify static. And now you can specify location your static file. Which static file? Demo.css. Similar, you can use for image tag. Image tag has one attribute src, and here we need to give image file path, static file path. So how we can insert? Using template tag, curly braces open, close, percentage, static, and then you need to give your image file path. So this is a way to insert static files in our template tag, in our template. So let's save this. Now you can save, and now you can run once again. Now you can check here. Now CSS is applied. Yes, no? You can check it. This is heading tag. Now we have changed the heading tag color is a blue, and now we have make text align as a center. Now we have apply height and width and border in image tag. Now CSS is applied. So in this way, we can work with static files in Django. So I hope it's clear how we can work and how we can insert static resources in our template. Thank you.